Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends, presented by our friends at Talent Co. Real Estate. How are you doing, Shawn?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I have to just jump in because I've been laughing all morning um, because I posted something on social media. It comes up every single year, and it's a question. You can only pick one. And the question is, and I want you to really think on this. What would you do? Because I have so many people have commented, and a lot of people are wondering what you would pick in this situation. Okay. So you either have to fight an orangutan with a sword once a year. So a big orangutan, you got to fight them with a sword. I
Do
don't
they have
know.
a sword too?
I don't think so. This is why I'm laughing because so many people are like, what kind of sword do I get to use? And I'm like, no, it's just a simple question.
I
I
mean,
don't
if
know
the
the
orangutan,
answers.
I don't know what the second question is yet, but if the orangutan doesn't have a weapon and you have a weapon, it almost seems unfair, even though it's way bigger than you.
Okay. But yeah, orangutans have that insane strength. Like when
Yeah,
uh,
but
that
if you
girl
have,
got her face pulled off. I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
but
That's
if you have a
awful.
big, she didn't have a sword. If she had a sword, her face wouldn't have got ripped off.
Shawn, if only you would have known her at that time. So that's the first
I would
one.
have gave her one.
Fighting an orangutan with a sword once a year.
Yeah,
Or the next one is fighting a chicken every time you get into your car.
it's an orangutan for sure because you already know I'm scared of birds.
You know what's funny is we got a couple comments where people said, "Oh, Shawn's totally going to choose the orangutan because that goose that
Mm.
terrorizes him at his job." And they
And
said,
gooses,
"Yeah,
I feel like chickens could be more deadly than geese because geese have like little paddle feet. They can't hurt you with those, and their
the
bills.
talons, right?"
Well, geese. I'm talking about geese.
Oh, yeah.
They have the paddle feet, which can't
I'm
hurt
sorry,
you,
sorry about
and then
chickens.
they also have a bill that looks like it's rubber. I've never been bit by one, and so it doesn't look like it would be more scary and frightening to have a goose coming at you. But a chicken, we know they have spurs on their legs, and they will get you with those. And then if that doesn't work, they'll peck you to death. And so, no, chickens are mean little assholes, especially roosters. They're
I think you're
horrible.
first of all, I'm shocked at anybody who, much like you, like you chose the orangutan. I think that's shocking. I would go with the chicken. A chicken cannot kill you. An orangutan has the strength where they could rip you in half. They're fast and they could chase you. You know
You
what
have
this
a sword.
Really, Shawn? When did you become a swordsman? Say this starts tomorrow and it's fight the orangutan with a sword. You don't get a sword class.
It doesn't take a freaking genius to figure out how to use a
Yes, it
sword.
does. When the orangutan is big and huge and strong and runs fast, Shawn, you would be dead in like 30 seconds. A chicken will not kill you. You're going to probably have some scars on your head or something, but from them jumping on you.
One,
But I
one,
also think
and I
don't
cut that orangutan's head off. It's a sharp, long sword, and it doesn't have a head anymore. I win, and it takes no time. Like it's nothing on my day. 14 seconds. I got my orangutan fight out for the year, and I move on with my life. Every time I go to my car 17 times a day. I got to fight a freaking chicken. One of those times you're going to get a real mean chicken that's going to whoop your ass, like whoop it
Yeah,
totally.
but you will not die to where
The-
every year there's one day out of the year where you have to fight this orangutan. I don't think you're understanding, Shawn.
I
And
understand.
again, listen, if you are watching the episode instead of just listening on our YouTube channel or Facebook page, then I'm going to show clips of insane orangutans. These are the scariest monsters in the world. They're terrifying.
I think they're awesome animals. First of all,
I do
orangutans
too, but you
they're
can't
my
fight
favorite
one.
animals at the zoo because you never know if you walk up, they might be that sometimes they're doing their doing their business. They just don't care. They're like human. They're like big hairy humans that are a little bit bigger that don't have any sort of shame, any public shame, and
I
you can
actually know
watch them
some
in glass
human men
cages.
like that and women.
I like watching them too. They're just harder to find. At the zoo, they're right there. You know exactly where to go.
And
In the
they don't even
wild,
care.
humans, you have to go to like downtown Denver to find those, and that's scary. They're not caged either, so they can get you.
Okay, wait. We've all heard about the kids that fall, or the people that fall into the gorilla, and the gorillas will enclosure, and the gorillas will take them and hold them and love them,
Mhm.
which is beautiful. What if I told you, to add a little spice to the question, that the orangutan would keep you for a week and you would be its baby?
Well, if it's not gonna hurt me, I don't care. That sounds fun. But I can't that doesn't work very well because you have to fight it with a sword, so one of us is gonna be dead. That's a fight to the death sort of thing, and so that's a dumb add-on to this question. And by the way, this is a really stupid question. The more I think about it, again, if you have any sword you want and you have a big, long, sharp sword, you're gonna
I
be
didn't
here.
say you get
I
any
think
sword.
honestly, I think I wouldn't say my 5-year-old, but I think the 13-year-old could take the orangutan with the right sword.
I
And
think
so
you're insane. You don't it scares me how little you know the power of orangutans.
they have to get to you. They can't get to you with a 10-foot sword. I'm like, sharp object, get away from me.
If you miss though, you only get that split second and you're dead. I mean, like, you have to make that shot on that orangutan or else you're done.
They're not
Chickens for
shapeshifters.
with
Like,
listen, with chickens, you can plan it out. I bet by month 4, I'd be like, open the door, bitch slap the chicken, close the door, turn the heat on. Like, I'd have a system for survival to where, I don't know, I would never fight an orangutan or large monkey. I get nervous with little monkeys. Sometimes you can go to like a fair and stuff, which I'm sure this is kosher, but they have like a little monkey with like a little outfit on, and you could take pictures. It's really kind of sad if you think about
you
it,
know
but
the saddest part about that? They rip those monkeys that are at those things, they rip their teeth out because they will bite you and they are sharp. And so those monkeys don't
oh,
have teeth.
I regret having this photo done
Yeah,
then.
don't do that.
I shouldn't do
Pete is
that.
gonna
What was
shut
I
down.
thinking?
Pete is gonna shut down this podcast tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
I'm
this is
sorry
your
I got
fault.
that monkey photo taken. But what I'm saying is they're all pretty shifty, and you get one with insane strength, you're done, you're
I'm
done.
not
And
worried
now
about that
moving
one bit.
on. We
Now,
don't want
can I have a sword though? The chicken thing. You didn't say I can't. Like I might randomly have a sword in my pocket one day when I'm going to my truck and there's a chicken there waiting to fight me because it's every time I go to my car. Can I pull out my sword and use it since I have it?
can I pull out a camera and film you every
Yes.
time? Because that would be amazing,
It
Sean.
seems a lot more legit to kill a chicken too because you can eat it. You take it home, you
What's
take the
so
feathers off,
stupid.
you grill it up. You're not going to eat the orangutan. So now I've chopped an orangutan's head off and it's just going to go to waste because you don't eat orangutan, but you do eat chicken.
I don't think you'd survive, Sean. I
I
love
would.
you, and I think you're thinking this is gonna be way easier than it actually is going to be.
You're
You're
wrong.
going well, okay. The great thing about this debate and these kind of questions, are that people like answering them, and I think it's because they're not heavy, it's not like a Republican versus Democrat thing, or a religion versus this, or
I'm more
this
passionate
is
about
just
this than a
dumb. It's like,
Republican.
yeah.
Honestly, this burns a fire deeper in my soul than if you were to talk about politicians.
I know. See, what's crazy about this question is that because it comes up on my Facebook, I posted it like a decade ago because it was so like, what do I do? I mean, I'm losing sleep over it. But the thing about this question is it always gets so many people who go back and forth. And Sean, I'm pretty sure tonight at like 10 p.m. you're going to be laying in bed. And did you get that? You're gonna be laying in bed and you're gonna go back on he was just picking his teeth as I'm
I wasn't.
talking.
I bashed my toothbrush accidentally into the top of my gum this
Yeah.
morning, and it felt like it was bleeding. So
Okay, well,
I was
that's
touching it to see if there was some blood on my finger, and now I'll probably go shake hands with people without washing my hands.
ugh, ugh, why do you do that?
I don't mean to. I'm just being real. I'm sitting in a podcast studio right now. When we're done, I'm gonna forget that I stuck my fingers in my mouth to see if there was blood, and so I probably won't wash.
Oh, good,
I
okay, good
wish I
heads
would
up.
remember to wash. I hope I do remember to wash, but the chances of me to remembering to wash
Your
slim to none.
hands?
I didn't just piss. Like once you piss, you wash your hands. It's just built into you. Once you're doing a podcast and you stick your fingers in your mouth to see if there's blood, and then a half an hour later you leave, you don't remember. It's just facts. That's why I don't like shaking hands. That's why I go for the fist bump. On Wednesday nights,
Oh, yeah, you were fist bumping the other night at that party. I saw
yeah,
you doing, like, your goodbyes, and it was like, "Boom,
I'm not really a
Sounds everybody.
germaphobe, honestly, either. Like, I'm okay with it, but if you really sit and think about it, like situations like that happen all the time. I got a little itch on my nuts. I itched it. I'm not by a bathroom, so I didn't wash my hands.
Oh, one down. I know somebody who won't be having any.
I'm starting to feel funny.
Well, I feel fine. I guess I'm gonna.
It wasn't necessarily malicious. Like, it wasn't like my 13-year-old who pees and then pretends like he washes his hands but doesn't wash his hands. That's malicious. It wasn't malicious that I got ball juice on my hands. I just did it and forgot to wash.
Oh God! Why didn't anybody tell me?
And that's acceptable, but it happens, so that's why fist
And you
bump
got it happens all the time, and I am somebody who is a super germaphobe, and I do feel like it is getting worse no matter what medication they try. I don't know. I still don't want to touch things, but
Speaking of medication, can I stop you right there? And I just want to ask you
is
because
this about She Legit?
no, I still haven't taken She Legit, by the way. It's still just sitting in my cabinet because I'm a little bit afraid of it. I
Okay.
mean, when you already have a pretty and it says that it makes it even that's scary.
Oh,
But
yeah,
no,
it's
I'm just
too
kidding.
big already.
I'm scared. No, no, nothing about She Legit. You were talking about, I think it was like a week and a half ago now. You got the pellets put
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
back or your behind. And for those that don't watch, many things they were for, but one of those things was for the libido.
Yeah.
Curious if it's working for you.
I feel like it is working.
That's good. Good
Yeah,
for
I
you.
know.
Good
I
for Ryan. Good
know.
for everybody involved.
I will say, well, see, my parents watch the YouTube show now, and so
Yeah,
this always gets so weird,
it
but
does. But
it's going wood. It's going good. I mean, I haven't
going
gone
wood.
overboard. Now,
Good.
if
I
you
love that it's going wood. That's exactly how it's supposed to go.
you're like Cartman. No, it's going well, and it's just amazing. But I told her, listen, I'm not a fan of being cut open, and oh, I don't like it, obviously. And so I go, you got to give me all you got, every hormone you got. I will grow a beard. I will happily grow a beard if it will make me like 18 again in the sack.
But no one's going to want to join you in the sack if you have a
I could
beard.
shave the beard though. I'm already German, so I do a pretty much all over wax on my face. You have to, because one day you'll look in the mirror and there will be like a big hair that is on your lip, and you'll be like, "Oh my God," you flash back to Frida, your grandma, and you're like, "Oh my God, I used to remember when you had a hairy face." And I was like, "That is fucked up." And then I went and tanned in the sun. Oh, a simpler time.
Can I I'm hesitant to even talk about this, but because this guy's a really good friend. I was on a trip recently, and a really good friend of mine who's an older man. He's old enough to be my dad. As a matter of fact, he's the same exact age as my dad. But him and I just we really connected a few
Yeah.
years back, and we're just friends. And so he's a good buddy of mine, and he lives in the area that I was visiting now. And so I went and visited him, and we went to a baseball game. And he invited his daughter, who's a really, really, really sweet girl. She's probably in her low 20s. And so we go to the baseball game, and she comes too, but she came separate, and she just met us at the baseball game. And I looked down, she was wearing a skirt. And I looked down because I had some nachos on the ground that I was going for.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
And I
The
didn't
old
look.
nacho trick.
No.
The girls, we've seen it before.
I was not looking up her skirt. I was looking down to get my nachos,
I
which
dropped
sounded
all of
much
my
more.
nachos.
And so I reached down to get my nachos, and I looked over because I don't know why. And I looked over, and her legs were way hairier than mine.
Woo! I was worried for you because I thought you were going to say something completely different. And so I'm like, Shawn, you are jumping without a parachute on this one. I cannot save you if you said you looked up your boss's daughter's dress.
He's not my boss. He's just my friend, just a
Oh,
friend.
your
He's
friends.
got,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. That
he's
makes
just
it less weird.
he's a friend. And but I don't want him to think that I'm because he may listen to this. I don't pester people like you. Like, you listen to my podcast? Why don't you listen to my podcast? You should listen to my
I don't
podcast.
pester shit. You better shut up.
Anyway, I didn't
God
ask him if he
dang it.
listens. He's a really good friend. Like he's very supportive of everything that I do. So there's a good chance he listens to this. And I
Wow.
don't want him to think that I'm making fun of his daughter, because I'm not making fun of his daughter. What I'm saying is we live in a society where I don't see that very often. And when I saw it, it was just like, whoa. And I
How
almost
hairy
said
was
it.
it? Was
And
it
then
like, how
like,
hairy was it?
dude,
No, was it like a hippie hairy, or was
I
it
think
like, it's
so.
been a while since I've
No,
gotten around to
I
it, and
was
oh
thinking the
God.
same thing. I was thinking the same exact thing. Like, it's early summer. It's not even summer. It's still spring. I haven't had to shave my legs all winter, and I didn't do laundry. All I had today was my skirt, so I threw it on. It's a longer skirt, thinking no one would see my legs. I thought maybe that was the case, but then I went back for a second nacho just to make sure. And
Why
this
didn't you
was
pick the nachos up, Shawn?
I
Why
had
do you eat
other
nachos
I
on
had
the
other shit
ground?
on my lap.
So you
Ice
had to
cream.
keep going down for that nacho cheese and seeing that
Yes.
that leg that's
And
hairy.
and so the second time it was just to go back just to make sure that I saw what I saw, because I had to just reassure myself that her legs were indeed hairier than mine. Mine have never been shaved, by the way, not
Do
once
you
in my
think
life,
do you
and
think the
like
whole
double
time
the
she
hair
was
of my leg.
do you think the whole time she was thinking, "This dude loves nachos"?
Why is he turning this direction every time he's getting a nacho? Is he trying to get a peek up my
See,
skirt?
look,
And so
that's
I,
yeah.
I just I know it's more prevalent these days. It's a thing, like
Yeah.
chicks, and good for y'all, because it should not be. And this isn't me just saying it so that I can get myself out of a hole. I truly feel this way, and I mean it. Like, if a chick doesn't want to shave her legs, or if she grows a beard and she doesn't want to shave her beard, then all the more power to you. But I will tell you this, and this is just a fact, and that is, we are in a society, and it's slowly getting away from this, but we were in a society where that was not the norm. And when something is not the norm and you see it,
It's sometimes
it's
very
shocking.
shocking.
It's shocking.
Also, you and I both live in areas that aren't like giant, metropolises, where I'm sure in New York you'd walk down the street and see people with hairy, I almost said pubes. How would you see that? But people with hairy underarms, and people, what's funny though, the difference between men and women, and also maybe this makes me an a-hole, but I would be like, oh, what? You don't shave your legs? Tell me all about that. Don't you get itchy? Or has anyone ever said anything like weird? And she's probably like, yeah, right now. But, like I would have a million questions of, why don't you shave? Why do you go against, like you said, Shawn, that societal norm of,
Well, and there's
because I've
yeah.
seen women with the big puffies of hair under their arms, and they'll like lift their arm, and then I'm like fascinated. I'm like, whoa, I don't think I could do it. Although I will say during the winter, it will go a while, and I will sometimes catch myself and like while undressing and be like, Jesus, you look like a
So I think
man.
Shannon sometimes uses that, like in the wintertime, same thing. She'll go a week without shaving her legs, and it'll be time for me to. I'm like, dude, I got to, yeah. And
Do you
she'll
feel
be,
like you're
instead
touching
of
a
being like,
man?
well, hold on, instead of being like the whole headache excuse, it'll be just like, hey, you should feel my legs, and I'll feel, and they'll be pretty darn hairy. And she thinks that it's going to be like such a turnoff to me that I'm going to just be like, yeah, never mind.
Now what
And I'm just like, screw it. I do it with the legs hairy anyway.
you were I've done it in worse conditions.
Yeah.
Hairy legs is like not a bad deal. So okay, so to flip your question, Shawn, what if tomorrow Shannon's just like, here's the deal. I don't want to do this anymore. I know a lot of women there are some women at my age, very early 40s. There are some women my age who are like, I'm not dyeing my hair anymore. I'm just going to
Yeah.
go gray. I don't care. I'm done with those societal norms yet again. And so what if Shannon came home to you today and said, I seriously, Shawn, I just don't think I'm going to do it anymore.
Well, the good news for me is that oftentimes people find other people who they're very compatible with, and they have similar beliefs. And Shannon comes from a mindset, from a society like we talked about before, where it was more normal to do girly things like shave. And So luckily she feels like she needs to do that because that's what I prefer to. And so it works out well for us. So she would never do that. But if she did do that,
Would you have a problem with
the
it?
leg thing probably wouldn't bother me.
What part of the body would you have the most issue with hair?
Oh,
Like
for
the
sure. You think
giant
I'm
bush?
Yeah, you think that I'm gonna go with the bush. I'm not. That might be a close second, but definitely armpits. A girl with
Yeah.
I'm gonna get hate for this, but a girl with armpit hair is instantly out. I mean, it could be Shannon's not in the picture and the most beautiful girl on the face of the earth. I'm single. She's in love with me. She wants to be with me, and she won't. She refuses to shave her
You're
armpits. I'm out.
lying. You're
Out.
lying.
I am
You're such
out.
okay. You have like such a thing for Tanya Tucker. Tanya Tucker,
That's
you know
He
she's not
probably doesn't
shaving
shave
her
her armpits.
arm.
He
I
definitely
mean, I
doesn't.
see that happening now. Like maybe one day Shannon might do that, but Tanya, I have a feeling it's been, the razor.
Tanya
You
Price
know?
also smells like cigarettes, whiskey, and last night's.
Which some people might find comforting in a
I do
lover.
find it comforting. I find it
No, I'm not
comforting in
saying
a grandma.
you.
I do, though. I find it comforting in like an crazy old aunt, however you say it, situation. I don't find it comforting in the situation like, oh, I'm going to do Tanya Tucker because I don't. That's the weird thing about my celebrity crushes, as
I
we've
know
talked
you
about
said this
before, is
before.
I have celebrity crushes that when I say crush, it almost means like I just want to be their friend. And I really do. Stevie Nicks and Tanya Tucker, but I don't want to sleep with them.
What if they tried to sleep with you,
I would
though?
have to probably say,
I think you do it. I don't think you would not do it. I think you would do it.
I mean, if I was single and I had less, if I was 25 years old when I had a lot less morals and I was single, I would probably do it just so I could say I slept with Stevie Nicks. But now, like even single, I don't think I could do it because
What's so
my
funny?
stomach's a lot weaker and you would see and smell and experience things that you probably don't want to.
Yeah. Well, see, now I'm really thrown off because I'm just shocked that because we're recording this tomorrow, so it'll air this week, but we're having a psychic on, and you are so adverse to psychics. You say they're witches, and then you have like a super thing for Stevie Nicks. I mean, doesn't that scare you at all that she'd put a spell on your boner if you pissed her off, and it would just like shrivel up and fall off? I'd be scared to mess with Stevie Nicks. Now, Tanya Tucker, the worst she's going to do is chase you out of her trailer and throw a skillet at you, as you
Oh,
drive
she's got
away.
a double barrel shotgun for sure, and it's probably sawed off. You
If
don't have to
you-
worry about the skillet. She'll shoot your ass.
In another life, Shawn, you have made love to both of these iconic women. Who are you more afraid of screwing over?
Stevie Nicks won't kill you.
She'll put a spell on you.
She will, and I am scared of that.
You are super scared of witches, Shawn.
That's true. I think that's why I'm so intrigued by Stevie Nicks, actually, is because she just like
She put a
lives it.
spell on you?
She not only does she's not, I don't think she does the witch thing like as a stage, like Ozzy and Alice Cooper. They put on these stage shows and like this
Yeah.
weird, like creepy, dark. I don't think Stevie Nicks, that's who she is. Like that's not part of her
Yeah, I totally think
on
that's who
stage.
she
Like
is.
that's who she is. That's who she is. Like you hang out with Alice Cooper and he's like, let's go eat caviar and drink champagne. He doesn't really want to chop off the head of babies like he does on stage with a guillotine.
Maybe he does.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He just found an outlet for people to pay him to chop
Correct.
those fake
Yes,
babies' heads
there's a
off.
lot of sick people out there, and he realized there's a lot of sick people out there, and I can pretend like I'm one of them, and they'll pay me a lot of money, so I'll pretend, and then I'll be normal again when I get off stage. Stevie Nicks, not that. She's a witch. She's a straight up witch.
And you're
every day.
into her. That's
Yeah.
so bizarre that you are so freaked out by witches, and yet you are saying you would make love to her.
I did not say that.
Shawn, if I go a day without you yelling or freaking out, I just don't know what to do with
You're
myself.
putting words in my mouth about who I would do and who I wouldn't do. That's not good.
Okay. You wouldn't do that because you were married. You're happily married.
It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with I wouldn't do it because it's weird.
You literally said earlier you would do it.
Okay, well, I also don't know, and this is the truth, the God honest truth. I don't know. Call me naive. I don't know at what age you stop doing it, and Stevie Nicks is almost 80 years old. so I wouldn't want to hurt her.
If Sean's like, I must warn you. I don't know. I think Stevie Nicks, she knows her way around. I think she'd school you on lovemaking. Sean, you'd cry.
Just to be Eskimo brothers with Don Henley and Tom Petty.
Yeah, no doubt. We're getting late into the ending of our podcast, but I have to tell you, my mom is in Idaho.
Oh, she's at the trial.
She's there.
So
She's
you
there.
better re-explain for the people that weren't listening to that last episode.
So we talked last week on, I think, just our last episode about, or maybe the one before that, but about my mom going to this Chad Daybell case. I don't even know, like court case. And we have no connection to Chad Daybell. And if you don't know who that is, which a lot of people, maybe you were like me, where you're like, it sounds familiar, but I'm just not sure. He was this prophet guy. Sean, after we talked about it last time, I went back and watched it again, and I'm like, oh yeah. But yeah, he was this prophet, and his thing was zombies, and he was gonna
It's no, you're making it sound more sci-fi than it is. It's a churchy thing. He had like it's a crazy spin-off. It's a crazy spin-off of the Mormons, and he thought that certain people, there's a scale is really what it is. There's a scale of how like good you are, basically, how holy you are, and if you fall too far down the scale, you're essentially, to him, a zombie. You're just walking around this earth with no purpose or no use, and you need to get rid of those kind of people because they're no good. And so this woman he met, he like said that they fall down on the bottom of the scale, and therefore they're zombies and they have to go, and so they killed off her kids.
Yeah, it's a bizarre, the documentary, God dang it, what's it called again? Sins of the Mother.
Sins of the Mother.
Yeah, it's really good. But my mom just she randomly last week was like, do you know who Chad Daybell is? And I said, oh, it sounds familiar. And she said, well, I'm going out to his trial with some friends. And I'm like, wait, what? We don't know anybody in that. It's not like our cousin was murdered or something. I mean, I just think that this is a big jump to make. And she goes, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to sit behind Chad Daybell and I'm going to give him daggers. So my mom.
What do you think she'll say?
My mom will not hold her tongue. She'll scream murderer. And it's on court TV right now.
Yeah, but at some point she's going to get escorted out because
I know. And I hope that's on court TV. I guess that's what I was getting at, is like, watch court TV because you might see my mother being escorted out of the building. But I'm like, Mom, she's like, I'm going to sit right behind him. It's terrible what he did, and I'm going to sit right behind him. And I said, okay, so you're going to fly from Colorado to Idaho, and you're going to get there at 6:30 in the morning. What if you can't sit behind him? And my mom, she will be sitting behind him, Sean. I've known this woman my whole life, and if she says she's sitting behind Chad Daybell, she'll kick people out of the way. And
why'd she choose Chad Daybell and not the mom?
I have no explanation. I don't even remember her mentioning watching the documentary to me. This just came out of I thought she was gonna be like, do you know who Chad Daybell is? And I'd go, oh yeah. And she'd go, yeah, that documentary, that's pretty awful. And I'd be like, yeah, that's awful. I didn't realize there was a whole trip that was already planned and hotel room was booked. And so I don't know. Keep an eye out on court TV.
When's it start? It's
like 24-hour coverage. You can watch
it. Yeah, but when's it start?
The actual thing?
Yeah, the trial.
I think 8 a.m.
No, like what date?
It starts today.
Oh, it's already started. And today,
it has already started.
Today, for reference, when we're recording this, is the 20th of May, 2024.
Thank you for always reminding me that. Yeah, because it's been
Have you been watching?
On. It's been going on. No, but I've had it kind of on in the background. Because if I hear somebody yelling, I'm going to be like, that's my mom.
Well, if she's smart, she won't yell, because that's how you get booted out quickly. She would whisper and like not let anyone know except for Chad Daybell that she's yeah.
Dad, I'm here for you.
Bet you have a small penis.
And he'd be like, this lady's, I have no idea what he's talking about. No, so she's there right now.
People do that? Is this a thing? Like,
I don't know.
People at court?
I know that on court shows, like not Judge Judy, There's this one called Judge Million. It's so sad that I know the origin of this, but it was back when it was Judge Wapner, and then he retired, and Judge Million is like a people's court, new Judge Wapner. Not the same magic, because Judge Wapner gave no shits, but whatever. But so wait, where was I going?
Something about hecklers. I asked you, do people heckle
Oh
at
no!
court?
So on the show People's Court, if you watch it, they have like a guy, like a Doug Llewellyn, only it's a different guy now, and he stands outside, and people go every day, and they stand out, and there's like a crowd of people, probably, in all honesty, like 20 people in a tiny area, so it looks bigger, but people stand there, and then they give their opinion on the case. They're like, "What do you think? Should she have paid for the rototiller?" And then they're like, "I'm visiting from Iowa," and yes, and it's really weird. So I do think it's this. I just don't know how my mom would have. I would assume you'd have to have some sort of access. Like, I can't just fly out and go to Kevin Costner's divorce trial. I want to do it. That would have been awesome. I would be like, "Go, John
Did you
Dutton."
see that, by the way? I have to stop you there and really throw this in there.
What?
His ex-wife is dating one of his best friends now, and it's
Sean,
confirmed.
can you please rewind like 5
Oh,
episodes
you
when I
said this
told you that
already?
very fact? And I
Oh,
think you were like picking your face or
yeah,
something, but
that was one of those
no,
episodes.
it was a friend who was living on
Oh, that's right.
the
You did tell me
property.
that.
It was
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
You just tried to retell
Oh.
me a fun fact, and I gave it to you. So
All right.
anyway, if you
Well, I'll
watch
be
Court
interested to hear
TV,
about. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do that, but I'll be interested for you to recap it for me to see if you see your mom on TV, 1, and 2, how close she got to Chad Daybell, and 3, if she makes it through the whole trial without being escorted out.
I will
Those
keep
are
you
my 3
posted.
things. All right, cool. I'm excited.
Let's say goodbye. And
Bye.
okay, hang on. Slow
Oh.
down, Sean, little buddy. Have you had a chocolate bar today at all?
No, I don't eat chocolate bars right now.
Oh, I have a Hershey bar.
I'm not supposed to eat sugar.
It's really good.
Are you still on these crazy diet pills?
Yeah, I'm on the second week of this. So 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks on. I'm on the second week of the second 3 weeks. So basically 1 more week of these, and then no more pills.
So other than these vitamin pills or whatever, do you take any other medication?
Well, then I'm gonna start after I get off of all of this stuff, and I'm a clean slate basically. Then I'm gonna try that She Legit and see what
and
happens.
die. You did all this work and then you're gonna drop dead because of that weird cream, or what is it?
And it's not cream,
Resin.
it's resin from Tibet. It's from like Mount Everest. They
And you eat
drill
it?
out of the side of the. Well, you put it in your mouth and swallow it.
It looks like honey. Okay.
Black honey.
Black honey,
It's
which is
black. It looks like
disgusting.
tar, is what it looks like, and supposedly it tastes like tar too. But I got mine in pill form, so you don't, because a lot of these, like the legit people, they'll just take it on a spoon, and
Yeah.
not me. I swallow it.
You
Swallow it in a pill. That's
a
the,
good
like I
idea.
don't know
Oh.
why we do anything. That's how I eat my vegetables. Swallow them in a pill.
My God, are you still talking?
Yeah.
That's how I apple cider vinegar. Some people shoot it. They'll take
Yeah.
like a shot pill. Why do we do anything? Why do we consume anything that tastes like shit when you can just swallow it in a pill form?
Yeah, but how much of that stuff is, see, this is where I always
It's
get
going
stuck,
down the
'cause I'm
same
like,
pipes. If you swallow a piece of
Listen.
broccoli, it's going down. If you swallow the broccoli in a pill, it goes down the same tube. So
I
yes, it's
understand,
getting
but
absorbed.
I always get stuck with like thinking about, am I just peeing all of this out and I'm getting no vegetables?
Well, time out. Why would you pee it out if you ate? Why wouldn't you pee it out if you ate it? Because I ate it. I just ate it in a different form. It's crunched up in a pill. So why would I pee
Sean,
that out?
we are
But I
like
wouldn't pee out
two-
the broccoli.
We are like two moronic people fighting over stupid stuff. But I really do want you today to think about that orangutan chicken situation, because I'm
I've
going
already
to
thought
back with
about
you
it. I'm not
tomorrow.
gonna-
You say that, you'll think about it tonight. Thank you to our presenting sponsors, our friends at Talent Co Real Estate. Amy, first of all, you got to follow them on social media because they do it right. They're posting videos, they got 3D tours, they got everything. No
I know,
matter
she makes
whether
me want to move.
yeah, I know. Like some of these properties that she posts, I'm like, oh, I really want to go and see that. But what's the point? It's like going to a stripper club and you can't touch anybody. So why would I go look at a big old house? Just be a waste of my time.
I
But
looked at
maybe
them, and
one
then I saw
day.
Shannon. I'm like, hey, look at this one. We should look at it. And
Really?
Shannon's like, no.
Well, that's because you and I are a lot alike, and Shannon or Ryan. So thank God for that. Talent Co. Real Estate. Just go to homeandnoco.com. That's homeandnoco.com. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, right, Shawn?
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly it. They'll help you with both. Maybe you're looking to buy and sell, because that's what happens to a lot of people. If you have one house and you sell it, then you need to buy a new one.
Yeah, it's
They
a
got you.
system.
They
Yeah.
got you on that whole little circle thing there.
Anyway, thanks to our client who's in real estate.
Yeah, they
it's-
buy and sell houses. Imagine that, but they're really good at it.
They're really good. And
All right.
Amy, she's our people. Homeandnoco.com. Shawn, sometimes you make things hard. Goodbye.
They should change their website to homiesandnoco.com, but it's home. Right now it's
See?
homes. Home.
Another
home.
reason.
No S.
Home.
Homeinnoco.com. Someday I'm going to convince them to also have homiesandnoco.com, because there are homies. All right, bye.